Approved. Item number 45, Greenfield South Power Corporation, Laurelland Eastern Power Plant. Yeah. Anyone want to move this? Madam Mayor? Madam Mayor.
As you know, the citizens in the area have been approaching us to get rid of the unfinished plant on that property. So I wrote the Premier as directed by Council, and she came back and advised me that it's up to the city to do it because Laurelland owns the property. When I got the letter, I had a discussion with Ed Sajecki. He brought me the Auditor General's report. And much to his surprise and mine, we find out that the province paid Laurelland $4.1 million for the land, but allowed them to keep it.
Wow.
So therefore, we're dealing with Laurelland. So I asked Ed to approach the company, which he did, to find out what their plans are, because we can't answer the citizens' request, or I'd like to answer and tell them. And Ed has reported to you the discussion, and that is we don't know what's going to happen to the plant. Our building commissioner has no authority to do anything. It's boarded up and it's safe, so therefore that's it. There's a possibility, I think, that after 1 year that the building commissioner could withdraw the permit, the building permit, but that would not allow us to issue a demolition request. Or we could make a request, but to demand that they demolish the building. So that's the status. And after you read this report, I will be sending a letter back to the citizens that asks us to get rid of this, take it back to its original condition, the site. That brings you up to date.
Terrific. Well, Councillor Unica.
Sorry, Madam Mayor. I'm tempted to let it go, but I can't. $600 million later, this is a site that we have no claim to. We're out 2/3 of $1 billion as taxpayers. With respect, the local member embarked as the finance minister. It's his government. They are not, I would say dedicating, but they're not dedicating. We paid $600 million for them. We're not getting park plan there. It's embarrassing. So, Madam Mayor, let's not waste a lot of time. Refer it back to the Premier, refer it back to the Minister of Finance, refer it back to the local MPP, who is one and the same, and tell us when the ribbon cutting is for the park plan that I hope Mississaugans and all Ontarians are going to receive instead of, well, $600 million, but we don't really own the land. I mean, how much more badly could they have screwed up this file? And they're going to sell this to taxpayers? Good luck. Madam Mayor, I hope you and I and the local aren't selling this to taxpayers. We didn't make this mess. I'm shocked, Madam Mayor. It's just appalling. You would think they would know that to clean it up and get rid of the evidence, give them the park real quick. And we're done, and just for the extra $4 million, we're already out 2/3 of $1 billion. What's the big deal? You'd think they'd have a brain in their head to at least do that, to cover up the shame. I'm shocked. I'm just shocked, Madam Mayor. And here it is falling on you to have to write another letter to tell them what's obvious. Get rid of the evidence. Let's get this horrible chapter in the history of the province out of here, and to think that we need to tell them that. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm shocked.
Message to follow.
My God. But we don't own it.
How do you really feel? Yeah.
We don't own it. You know, we don't own it.
Yeah.
I'll talk to the company, I guess.
Just a clarification. The MPP and the finance minister are not the same person. Actually, it's Deepika Demirla's riding. Actually, is where Laurelland is. The other clarification is that there's the citizens in 2007 took Ontario Power Authority's own report to them, which clearly stated that they could have converted Nanticoke to 2,000 megawatts, and they didn't have to build any of these power plants. So, and that was brought to Ontario Power Authority's attention in September of 2007, and they still decided to try and proceed with all of these local power stations when they had a clear alternative that was very cost effective and a willing host. So Ontario Power Authority completely blew this deal, totally. And then now that they're having this commission on the power plant, do you know who they're requesting for? You know where they're getting all their expert advice for this commission? From the Ontario Power Authority. That makes no sense at all. The people that completely messed the entire deal up, now they're the ones that are giving all the experts, so-called expert statistics and expert evidence for this crazy kangaroo court they got going on down at. You're right. The whole thing is a mess, but the citizens brought it. Some of us are here. The citizens brought it to the Ontario Power Authority in September of 2007, and they wouldn't listen. So, anyway, that's my rant. So we do have a mover. All those in favor? Approved. Okay, item number 46.